One fella got on, I don't know how in the world he got up. He got on top of the iceberg, and he was just on top. And the iceberg rolled. And of course, as he rolled, it began to break. And this man got carried away down, I don't know where it was, a big Russian tide boiling up.
These icebergs are pretty cool because they're 10 or 15,000 years old, and they come off the ice cap in Greenland, fall into the ocean, and then ride the Labrador Current south all the way down here onto the coastline. They're so attractive looking, just these sculptural pieces of ice in the ocean. I look at that as a climber, and I just want to climb them. Icebergs are interesting because they're becoming a resource for Labrador and Newfoundland as well. People harvest the water in them for iceberg vodka and just iceberg water and everything else. So we were in St. John's the first day, and all of a sudden we noticed that the iceberg harvester is tied up to the dock. And these are the guys I want to talk to because they're experts on icebergs.
The biggest problem with ice is very unstable. We won't touch an iceberg that's not grounded, because you always have a tendency to roll over on you and she can bite you. Okay. All I can say is have an inflatable floating device on them that when they go down so far it'll inflate automatically and bring them to the surface. They'll get their bodies anyway.
It's, I would think, a extremely dangerous activity that, one would be foolhardy to engage in. Simply because you can't predict what the iceberg is going to do next. 2 years ago we had somebody killed that was just going out to a small iceberg to get some ice. I'm not kidding. This is really, really, really dangerous stuff. It's just such a, there's no way to predict what it's going to do. You don't know if it's going to go upside down, break in half. Who's told you that it's safe?
There's always a lot of danger with these icebergs because they go so deep, and a lot of them pieces will come off of the icebergs. They go so deep, and the tide's so strong, the current's so strong, they come up way over there. If ever they'd hit a boat, well, they just turn over or come right on up through.
You just got to be careful. That's all. They're moving. The grounded iceberg, I would suggest that you look for, and it's more stable. As the moving iceberg, when it comes along and then it hits a shoal, well, then all of a sudden she's starting to roll, and anything can happen, right? It's dangerous stuff. You get your pick into that, and you can't get it out. You're in deep shit.
That's a technical term, eh? We met with a bunch of people who've spent a lot of time around icebergs in St. John's, and all these people said the same thing. It's a bad idea. We'll find out, I guess. We couldn't find any good bergs near St. John's, Newfoundland. It's a pretty lousy year for icebergs, apparently. So now we're up here in Makkovik, 300 miles north of St. John's, and hopefully there are bergs here. My climbing partner, Ben Firth, was supposed to arrive here at the same time as me, but he's stuck somewhere in the deserts of Saudi Arabia. I'm on my own until he shows up. The first job is to find some bergs. We've also got a paramotor up here, which is a paraglider with a little fan on the back of it. And I want to use that to get up high and scout around here and look for icebergs if it's not too windy.
Icebergs! They're way offshore, all of them.
Do you see the iceberg?
Yeah, there's a big, three big icebergs out there.
Really?
Shining in the sun. What do you think of the whole iceberg climbing idea?
I think you're nuts. When you started flying that paraglider that you were flying, and then of course half the town was up watching you within a few minutes of you getting airborne, and the next day and that night they were calling and saying, "Is that crazy guy gonna fly again today?" So it's not only me that thinks you're nuts. The whole of Makkovik thinks you're nuts.
Finally going iceberging, yeah boy. Heading out on the water today to go chase bergs. See ya, Makkovik. Boy, that's always encouraging when you see that, huh?
Icebergs are so dangerous. You know, even the sound waves from an engine can split them in two. You know, I've seen them turn over with the sound waves from the engine as you go past.
Oh, yeah, right.
That was 6.8 miles.
Berg ahoy! Got our first berg out there. There are actually bergs in Labrador. So I don't know whether to be excited or scared. We have a berg, which is a good thing, but that means I'm gonna have to actually climb on it. And after all we've heard the last week, I'm definitely more nervous. I mean, the idea of climbing icebergs seemed really cool in Canmore, Alberta, in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. Then you get out here and it's like, huh.
If you were to fall into the Labrador Current into the ocean here, you might only last, 3 or 4 minutes before you were just not functional anymore.
Because you never know what's going to happen. This is freaky.
Oh shit.
And the iceberg roll. The iceberg roll.
There's no way to predict what it's going to do. Then it's going to go upside down, break in half. I mean, who's told you that it's safe?
Holy shit. You guys make sure you're clear. This whole thing just is under pressure. Holy shit. I've never felt ice under this much pressure. One touch and you can feel it all just explode. It's crazy shit.
Is that good or bad?
It could be bad. Oh! Holy freak show! It's not right, I can tell you that right now. It's not right. Oh! Oh! Oh, every time it cracked! I hate that noise. That means it's like bad noise. Every time that's happened to me at an ice climb, bad things have happened immediately thereafter. I really oh.
This is the first time I've seen someone climbing icebergs. I never thought I would ever see it. But to hear them climbing the iceberg just shows the vulnerability. Because I've seen you drive that pick in and it's the same as shooting a gun. You can hear the echo, within the iceberg. And, my knowledge of ice is that crack that you hear means something's splitting.
If this thing starts cracking, you guys just gun it out of here, because this is...
And that's not a healthy sound. I know, imagine how you feel. But, to me, that's an iceberg splitting sound.
All right, to get out of here. That was freaky. Oh, you'd hit it and just go bang, and you'd feel it all the way in your feet. I've never felt anything like that. Whew.
Oh, scary monsters, man. Like if you hear that noise and you're hanging on an icicle, you're dead. And here the whole thing didn't fracture, but I could feel it come all the way through my feet. That is not healthy ice. The next day we head out to another berg, but it doesn't look so good. It's scary with the fin, and it's scary with the cracks, and it's scary because of all the bergy bits behind it. Obviously, it's been really active lately. Why is there a big crack in the top? Like, that just can't be good. So right to the right of that fin would be good there.
The dangerous thing about going up to an iceberg, other than the fact that it's a danger in itself, is the sea state. The sea doesn't just go up and down on an iceberg, it sort of rushes in on it and sucks itself out. So you got to be really, really careful. At the same time, you got to be careful that the rising wave is not coming behind you, and it could just push you right into the iceberg. And plus the fact that you're trying to time the jump. Well, you want to get whoever's going ashore on the up wave.
Watch your knee.
And he's got, seconds to get himself attached.
Yeah, watch it. Good.
Because once his feet leave the deck of my boat, I'm out of there. There's a couple times I've had a, full speed reverse, and she wasn't coming back because of the in wave.
The moving iceberg, when it comes along and then it hits a shoal, well, then all of a sudden she's starting to roll.
Ah! I really, really do not like the sound of this ice. I'm never gonna get used to it. Ah! Oh my God. Ah! What I've got right now, if you can hear me on the camera, is a huge what's called a dinner plate. The whole top layer is delaminated, and I'm really concerned that if I hit it, the whole thing's gonna fall off and I'm gonna get busted up by it. It's a bad situation. Moving over, really hoping this doesn't just break off. Oh. I cannot get a good placement. The sound of the surf behind me is fully freaky too, like surf on an ice climb. What's that? Oh. Ah, I hate that. This ice is not right. If I fall off now, I'm gonna break my legs and then die from the thing rolling over on me. I'm out of here. Enough of this. It's been fun, but I don't need to kill myself to climb this iceberg. I'll watch the bow. Let's get away, boys! Run away! Oh, that ice is so crazy. I didn't think it could get any scarier. So I got up to the bulge up there and I wanted to go right to the very top of it, but I hit the bulge and there's a stress line that went horizontally into a vertical one, and the whole thing went... It was like I was on a zipper and I just pulled it, and I got scared and ran away. It's what I came for, but the intensity level is way higher than I'd anticipated. It's definitely the freakiest thing I've ever done. It's really freaky. But then the sun came out and I thought, why not try again? Ah. Oh, I can feel it moving. Not happy camper. Oh boy, this right here this is worth the trip. Wow.
Oh boy, I want to get out of here. Ice tool. My ice tool's stuck. Gotta get that. Okay, good. Good. That's the coolest thing I've ever climbed out of my life. So scary, but so cool. Hey, Randy, good job. Yeah. Oh, you're a nut. Oh, you know what this is about.
Yeah, that's why I don't do it.
I didn't know what I was getting into. This guy knew what he was getting into and still came out here. And the higher I got out, the worse the stress fractures got. And I've seen the one that's on the far side. That's bigger now. That stress fracture over there, I heard that crack once and I was like, eh. It's gotten bigger and I was like, okay, this is really fun, but there's no reason to die. You know, you die, you lose, right?
You're here.
Yeah, see it.
Good to see you also.
So how is it? Come on, give it to me. Give it to me.
All right. So we've got out 2 days so far and gotten on bergs.
Yeah.
And it's the worst ice I've ever climbed in my life on there. Like the first time I got out of the boat and hit it, it sounded like the whole thing had just fractured.
The whole thing.
The whole, like if you heard that sound and you were on an ice climb, the whole thing would have fallen down.
Yeah.
Just like crack.
You optimally, you want them in the bay. You want them grounded.
Yeah.
You want the water where it's
Yeah.
not bouncing up and down. You can spend a little time with pair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got none of that. And the ice is really bad.
Damn.
But I'm sure you're gonna do a lot better.
Alright.
Yeah. So, but we're getting better at it.
Okay.
You're crazy.
Ben and I head out the next day, but don't find a berg until late in the evening.
Okay, do we have time to hit it? So how do you want to do this? You want to go first and I'll be right after, or? Sure.
Clear.
How's the ice on that?
Bad ice.
Okay. What's it like underneath?
That opening ice is a big dinner plate of ice break.
Okay. Tell me when.
Okay, wait.
Well, for me, getting off the boat and getting back on the boat are the most dangerous points for me. Once I'm on the ice, it's like it's a situation where I can deal with slowly, whereas getting off the boat onto the iceberg is a dynamic situation. It's good Will prepared me for that crack, because it's like one big ball of pressure and it's just releasing and exfoliating blocks on either side, and there's no way to predict what's going to happen. It's completely unpredictable in every way.
We're on top of the berg! Yeah! Let's get out. Yeah, boy. Just think of your first trip up the iceberg.
Jesus Christ, man.
Scary?
Big iceberg on the port side there. Check that out.
After an intense day of berging, we spend the night on a remote island. We aren't the first to use its protected waters. The Inuit camped here for thousands of years. Then it's back to hunting bergs.
That's a crack. We've got a crack that runs all the way over the top of the thing from one side to the other. And we could tell it's a crack because it's jagged, not blue. And
it's obviously fractured basically right in half, right? So why is it still together? And if that iceberg splits, then I guess you choose which half to jump off of, but I don't think it'd be good. Personally, I'm not very interested in getting on this berg anymore, at least until I get a better feeling about it all. That was it cracking and the birds just flew off.
Then Randy decides to test the berg's stability, local style.
Oh yeah. That was right on the fracture line.
Out of your shot.
Oh! And then we were thinking about getting onto that.
You didn't even shoot that one.
That's the funny part. That was just random, like, iceberg chaos. I'm worse than not impressed. Let's go do something else. Right, run away.
On the way back in, Ben gets seasick, or maybe just berg sick. This whole project is starting to look, well, crazy.
Alright, so we lost our cameraman. Today Ben Firth and I are doing camera.
So you can all get seasick just like me.
How many do we have out there? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Look at that thing. That's what we've been dreaming about the whole time. How aesthetic that is.
Oh, yeah! Woo. That's a sweet looking berg.
Look at how undercut it is, hey? That thing goes down so far. Whoa! Oh, it's doing its old tricks again. Wow. Look at that fracture line. Look at that, it ran all the way up that thing, hey? What you just had happen, Ben, is exactly what my first experience was like. Good, Ben. Stay smooth, buddy. How do you like those cracks? How is she, Ben? Ooh.
You know it's a fin on the back end, you know it's just going right through. I don't trust it at all. It's just snapping so hard.
1, 2. Give her!
Watch your foot.
Watch your leg. I'll get it, don't worry about it. All right, nice work.
Nice work, Ben.
You almost dipped it.
It is cracking like mad. I was just doing the light click, 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 like thin ice technique. Just want to get it in that deep, and still it was just whoosh, whoosh.
That looked crazy, man.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go try it.
That went right through. Dude, get off that! Get off that thing.
You were right, Ben. That was the crack, man. Again, nice looking iceberg, sunny day, horror show. Boy, that scared me though. Like, I'm done.
What do you think, man?
I think she's making bad noises. But...
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Oh, look at that! That was the part that I was just standing on. Now look at it, totally different. Just broke right where we were climbing.
This is the craziest thing I've ever done. I think it's we've made a new benchmark. Craziness.
So very glad I was not on that thing. You can hear all the little iceberg bits crackling too. Iceberg icicle, baby. Tastes like chicken.
Spare air.
Scare. Every ice climber needs one.
Yeah. I'm summoned in the mighty Iceberg.
Oh, you got air. You realize exactly like you're a gnat on a boulder, and the boulder is gonna roll. But we can do it.
Well, I don't have the climate, so I'm not the least bit bored about it.
I'll get it, Ben. Don't worry about it.
That's your first experience of trying to roll an iceberg?
Yeah, we tried to roll it. See you, Ben. Ciao, baby. If you can't climb those bergs, your contract's up, man. Ciao. Alright, I think I've had enough entertainment. My nads are starting to get